I wanted to talk a little bit before I headed into the hospital today about some of the pros and cons of taking step 3 or level 3 early. If you're new here, hey, my name's Alyssa. I'm an intern going into anesthesia, and I took level 3 in August, which was my second month of residency. And I ended up scoring over the 99th percentile on it. And I initially had some reservations taking level 3 so early, but now that I know my results, I'm going to share with you some of the pros and cons of taking level 3 early or step 3 and why you should consider doing it for yourself. So some of the obvious pros to taking step 3 or level 3 early is that you can get it out of the way and have your weekends and your evenings off. In residency, your time is very limited, and it's important to be able to actually decompress and have time off when you do. So by taking boards early, you can get that out of the way. The next thing is that one of the advantages of taking boards early is you can start preparing for them during medical school. So I started preparing for, well, I was initially going to take step 3, but then I decided to just take level 3 since they're both 2-day exams, and it was just kind of a headache. So I decided to just take level 3. Anyway, I started preparing for both of them technically after I matched. I started preparing a little bit beforehand. I had purchased UWorld and I was doing a few questions, but really after I matched, I started studying more consistently for them. And in this way, you're able to sort of utilize that free time of fourth year to be studying for the boards, and then inevitably you can possibly score higher because you've been preparing for a while. Whereas in residency, you're limited on your amount of time that you can study and the hours that you can put in. So your scores can, be less just because you're so busy. Yeah, and I think that the boards are so different from clinical life or hospital life that I don't think it really prepares you all that well. So I think that, if you really want to do well on these boards or make sure that you pass, I think studying for them specifically is kind of the best way. Now, some of the cons are that you would have to pay for your own study materials. So your residency will reimburse you if you purchased the materials once you started employment with them. So if you purchased your study materials prior to being employed, they're not going to pay for UWorld or CommBank or whatever you decide to use. So that is one of the cons. You will have to pay for your own study materials. But on the flip side, one of the pros of that is that, okay, I bought UWorld on my own, the subscription, but then I had my residency program pay for CommBank. So then I could have a little bit of extra DO question material support. So there is a benefit of that in a way. You can, have multiple question banks and not go through all of your education fund. Another con, of course, is studying during that free time of fourth year, but I don't regret it at all. I thought it was a great use of fourth year. I still got to relax a lot, and I was studying and preparing for level 3. So, I would definitely do it again. Yeah, other cons are that you're sort of studying for your boards at the beginning of residency when you're still getting oriented to what residency is like. And I certainly thought that was a lot. I started in the critical care unit my first month of residency, and balancing that with studying for boards was pretty challenging. I will admit that. And then another con is that you have to sort of wait until you graduate from medical school before you can even apply for step 3 or level 3. So just scheduling your boards can certainly be a challenge if you're trying to take them early. I ended up having to take my boards in 2 different cities and had to travel in order to take them this early just because the availability was so low. So that's certainly another con of it. If you're interested in taking step 3 or level 3 early, I would definitely recommend going for it. I don't regret it at all. I think it was a great decision. Keep in mind that you have to graduate first, and as soon as you graduate, really get everything scheduled as soon as possible and move forward in that process, so that way you can get your test scheduled in time. And good luck. We'll see you in the next one.